Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. Podcast so bad, we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons17. It is the post-WrestleMania weekend show. I'm here with the usual gaggle of good-looking guys. I'll go ahead and give the hot tag to my partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And of course, if you love your mama's favorites, check us out on Country Air Official and on Facebook and Instagram, a Country Air Brand on the Twitter machine, baby. And we'll get it off to the World Traveler.
Hey, what's up, guys? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV. Pound sign for the ref brand and waffles. Take it home podcast.
Waffles. All right, Perch. You were the one that was in a strange place. How was the food on the West Coast?
That food was pretty good. Plenty of pizza, some tacos that were primo. But the best was a jerk style pork chop on mashed potatoes on a pineapple slice.
That seems too fancy for you.
It was the juiciest, fattest pork chop I had ever had. It was the fanciest joint I'd been to in a long time. We had time between two shows, and we maximized it. Had a good old family dinner.
Oh, yeah. Let's sit down, have a family dinner.
Sat down, had a family dinner. I drank a couple of black coffees with a nice pork chop and mashed potatoes. And that was all before working at a big lucha show later
that is a flavor I never would have thought you'd be down for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, phenomenal. Pork chop, when done right, pork can be my favorite food of any food.
Somehow that does not surprise me.
The taste varies, but it can always be the best like food.
Zach, did we eat anything this weekend, or did you eat anything this weekend? I guess.
What do we have this weekend?
This was Midwest gaming.
We had ice. Yeah. What? No, not much, bro. I don't think. No, yeah. I had nothing.
I had a slice of Ian's, which was, always good. Ian's.
Yeah, big fan of Ian's pizza.
I did not get it at the convention because I knew those prices would be high. And the Ian's pizza restaurant was just around the corner, like 2-3 minutes away.
Smart. Granted, I didn't get Ian's at all, but I was like, I feel like there's an Ian's around here. But yeah, that's super smart because it was looking good.
Yeah, and that smell was permeating. But you know what else looks good when we're recording is that banger of the week. Perch, what you got?
Ooh, this week's banger of the week. Old tune, but man, it hits. And this week it really hit because it's the first time I ever went there. But then I also left. But I rocked this tune when I left. Say Goodbye to Hollywood, Eminem. That song always hits. I love it. Great era of music and a great era of M. Yeah,
that era of them is very underrated. Eminem show encore, very underrated.
Yeah, and really good. Still live in the times where that was the most popular thing when it came out, but then just disappeared for many years.
Yep.
Yeah, that song so good. You could see the hills, and it looked beautiful. And that song was in my head for a good amount of it.
Nah, that's a good one to pick. Yeah, those are probably like 2 and 3 of my top Eminem albums. Slim Shady LP is my favorite. And I think Encore and then the Eminem Show.
That's a tough one for me to judge. It would take good thought for me to place them. See, I think Relapse is about as good of a CD as I've ever heard.
Relapse is very good. Relapse, like that run of CDs, I can't even, or albums, can't even think of them all, but like Relapse, Prescription, I think it was. Now this is gonna bother me.
Yeah, some good music, great storyteller.
Recovery, that was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Relapse and Recovery. That was also a very good 2 album run by him, but I think Encore and the Eminem Show are very underrated and are probably up there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, Perch, you were on. You can't even really say you were on the road. You were in the air. Did you get a chance to really watch any wrestling this week?
Oh yeah, this week I happened to watch some wrestling live in WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium. Oh, I haven't caught a live WrestleMania in a couple years, really since joining the business because we've been out grinding. And when it comes time for WrestleMania day or days, usually out there, busting ass and
Or traveling at
recovering.
this point, yeah.
um, but this year, we got everything said and done and had a cool independent wrestling Hall of Fame on Sunday. 6 inductees and 6 people inducted them. So like 12 open speaker, learn from veterans in the business. That one's worth a replay for anybody. Incredible. After we got done with that show, we all went over to WrestleMania and took in night 2. And holy smokes, that was like the most incredible live wrestling show I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Josh, you got to see Gunther live. That match was phenomenal.
That triple threat match was out of this world. Gunther comes flying off the top rope for a splash, power bombs old Sheamus right onto McIntyre's back, picks up McIntyre and power bombs him. That was such a good match. Yeah, those guys were beasting. It looked beautiful. I got to give it to Bianca and Asuka. That was like one of the best pro wrestling matches.
So many good reversals in that match. So many good reversals.
It was. And they told a story where from no matter where we were standing or sitting, we could see exactly what was happening, what was being worked, what was, struggling. All the reversals, like you said, they looked phenomenal. The outfits were incredible. The entrances were the
very good.
best. My God, the way Asuka is right now is so cool. Bianca's entrance like brought tears to the eyes. Like that was just a spiritual good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes wrestling is emotional. Sometimes wrestling is emotional, and that was definitely an emotional entrance leading into the match, and I enjoyed the hell out of that match. That was good pro wrestling. When pro wrestling is done right, it does bring a tear to the eye sometimes, and I'd be lying if I said there weren't welling up in the corners of the eye by the time it ended. It was great.
No, I definitely think like after going in Tampa, like if you are in the business and you haven't gone to WrestleMania, you need to go to WrestleMania. Whatever your thoughts are on WWE, just that experience is amazing.
Yeah, it really is the grandest show. Like that, the matches were top notch. It kept topping itself, one thing to the next to the next. I didn't really know much of what the card was, so I just kept getting surprised. I went in completely open minded and along for the ride, enjoyed every second of it. And at one point, someone said, "Oh yeah, and Edge is taking on Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell." Whoa! And a minute later,
Perch loves him a cage match.
And he's the demon. Whoa! I was mind blown. The little emoji with the explosion on the head, that was like, I could not believe it. We had a hell in a cell, and I looked up, and all of a sudden I could see it looming up there in the rafters. You really couldn't see it, but once you really, because there's so much,
there's so much going on, and so many places to look at.
Oh, when that thing lowered, you might as well be playing Undertaker's music. I was going nuts, and that thing was getting lowered.
It's probably the most excited that GCW crew has ever seen you.
Oh, it was funny. The guys were really, really enjoying it. By the end of it, saved ourselves, got lucky. No middle fingers needed because I was the Roman fan. As we were walking in and saying, I think Cody's going to finish the story. And I was the one guy saying, to be continued. So by the time it was said and done, we got finger pictures with the one finger up.
Yeah.
It was fun to just be a fan. My goodness,
Yeah,
especially
you
after
don't get
working
to
as
do
many
that very
shows
often.
and as many matches. Yeah, you don't get to do that as often, and especially for WrestleMania. Like I said, I
Yeah,
haven't even watched a whole WrestleMania in years. Um, but yeah, that Finn and Edge entrances were out of this world. Like the music playing, some Slayer playing, then Edge's real song. Like Edge and Christian's podcast was a big influence on me joining the business. And to hear them talk about if they could ever get back in, how they would want to give back to the younger talent. So to see it come full circle with a Finn Balor directly giving back to the younger talent and telling a hell of a story. My God, that was awesome, that match. Midway through, Finn gets busted open worse than anything. They
yeah.
patch him up and he finishes another 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. My God, if that wasn't the most gutsy performance I've ever seen
Put the
live.
team on his back.
He put the team on his back with a veteran like Edge too. That match was just as beautiful in its own right as that Bianca against Asuka match. But it hits a different level. It's more of like a guttural, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like your favorite sports team winning. That's such a big one. Yeah, that match was amazing. I'll always remember that for real. And then the main event was awesome too. Just like an opera with this happens and that happens. Oh, here come these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
down.
There's a lot going on.
It was beautiful. Just a perfect wrestling opera that you could see from anywhere in the stadium. It was beautiful. Great time. Great time. Fun wrestling.
Awesome.
And the main event of Effie's Big Gay Brunch was Effie and Dark Sheik and Allie against Pero, um, Charles Mason, and Billy Dixon. Great storytelling, start to finish. It was an accumulation of big time beatdowns in the past and storytelling from the past. So that was one match that really hit differently that I watched from the weekend. And Speedball against Ibushi was good with a good Kamagoye. Boom! Lights out.
Hell yeah. Zach, what have you watched?
Definitely watch WrestleMania. My favorite match, top matches for me were Sammy and Owens versus the Usos. That was just, I love your tag wrestling. No duh. Love the Gunther match. Like I said, the Perch. Jealous you got to see that live because I remember just watching. It's just like they're not doing nothing but just beating the shit out of each other, and I'm all for it. It made sense. It made sense for Roman to win. The match was really good. Good storytelling there. Cody didn't look weak losing. But yeah, watched all Mania. Watched the Raw after Mania. Not gonna lie, it was a little underwhelming. But yeah, and then I watched our matches that we had this weekend.
Nice. I too watched the WrestleManias. Yeah, the tag match from night one was probably my favorite match. I did really enjoy the triple threat like you two, but I think I'm gonna put Sammy KO
Bro,
versus
Sammy and KO's gear.
Sammy and KO's gear, and they did wear it again on Monday. So we'll see if that's going to be their running tag gear going forward. The little PWG tribute. Yeah, really enjoyed Bianca and Asuka. It looked like it started a little rough, but once they got that chemistry going, all those reversals, the arm bar into the KOD for the finish, fucking beautiful. I don't know that I was rooting for Roman, but I wouldn't say that I was rooting for Cody. um, Jay Uso is my pick to end Roman. So I didn't really have a dog in this fight. I'm satisfied with the results. Yeah, so much happening in that main event. It was wild. It was crazy.
For some reason, what was on my mind was Roman against Lesnar in that one WrestleMania where Roman's face is just gushing blood. And I don't know why, but I felt that one going into it. So he's been in a bunch of WrestleManias, since and a few before, but that one was playing in my mind. So I just wanted him to really avenge that one. And
that
it happened
one,
to be
you need him
Cody
to bust open Brock.
happened to be Cody standing in his way. So sorry. I wanted Roman to avenge that one for me live, and he did. Just
Fair.
happened to be someone else's, everybody in the arena's story that he upended.
Seth versus Logan Paul was fun. Logan Paul is coming through. Dominic and Ray.
Oh yeah.
Such an awesome entrance from both of them. Dominic has my favorite entrance from WrestleMania weekend. I love so much what they've done with him, turning him heel, and this ex-con Dom thing is he's leaning into this, like this is what he needed. The white meat baby face was not him. This ridiculous jailbird though. He's really finding his feet, I feel.
Dude, also his entrance, the homies Jossie, Braxton, and all them.
Yep. Yeah, some very, very sexy police escorts. You gotta have the front man in the front.
Oh yeah.
Um Dynamite has been very good these past 2 weeks. I have loved the story with Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. Last week we got the Matt Hardy versus Jungle Boy match. And then this week we got Ethan taking on Hook. Matt Hardy finally giving Ethan his comeuppance. And a little fist bump at the end between them and Hook was very good. Blackpool Combat Club. What a bunch of just jerks. They're just some jerks. Last week, jumping Adam Page. This week, beating up Dalton Castle and the boys, and then just running amok and Brian's promo about love. They don't know what love is. This was very good this week. Freaking MJF is a wonderful singer. And there is just no way to make him a heel in Long Island. Those like his hometown,
They
really
loved
has,
when he beat up Jungle Boy.
huh?
They were not happy with Jungle Boy.
Yeah, they were not happy, and they were booing and yaying very, very well in time with what was going on. So that was very fun for me to watch. Just the crowd reaction to that. Yeah, you can be more over than MJF in Long Island, unfortunately. That bled into the Sammy Guevara Commander match, which was just as Righteous Red said, that was some top tier spot foo. Commander probably did 8 rope walks, succeeded on 4, failed on 4, but you know what? It's beautiful every time. They seem to have very good chemistry. All of everything hit well, everything hit hard. I am really enjoying where we're going with this 4 pillars thing. They didn't really touch on Darby, but you can see that they did cut to Darby watching in the rafters during the Sammy match. I think it was during the Sammy match, or it might have been as he was walking to the ring. But keeping the focus on that for the heavyweight title, and it's definitely leading to a 4-way match that I am super excited to see. Did watch the Raw after Mania. Street Profits versus Sammy KO was very good. I am excited to see what Sammy and KO do with the tag titles. Roman is still on top. Bloodline is still on top. I'm cool with that. I think somebody said you should never trust when Brock Lesnar smiles at you. Cody set up that tag match and had Brock as a partner, and Brock was way too into it for it to go well. So it looks like maybe that's where we're going for SummerSlam, Cody and Brock. I think it will be very interesting to see those two go at it. I think Brock has had some super awesome matches with smaller guys. And while I wouldn't call Cody a bigger guy, I also wouldn't call him a smaller guy. So I am very interested to see how that one goes. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say that the Raw after WrestleMania has definitely felt different than the Raws the past 9 months, but that could just be a one-off. We'll see where things go.
Yeah, hopefully. I watched that Raw after Mania, and for every Raw after Mania, that was probably one of the most underwhelming ones.
It was at least in recent memory. I don't think there were any call-ups. And was Matt Riddle the only return?
Matt Riddle was the only return.
Matt Riddle was the only return. So yeah, no call-ups. Matt Riddle the only return. Yeah, it's one of the more underwhelming in recent memory.
Also,
Well,
I think I was
I
hyping
enjoyed it
myself.
though. It was a good episode of
I think I
wrestling.
was hyping myself up, hoping that I don't know why I really was convinced that Jay White was WWE bound. I think maybe that was just more of like, oh, I was really hyped, like really like, oh, is he coming? Is he coming? Where is he?
No, and I don't think I liked it as much as you, Perch, but I don't think I hated it as much as everybody else. I think there was definitely some good to come out of it, but there are just definitely I've said it before, I want to eventually run a promotion, and there were just definitely some disconjointed parts that kind of threw me off. I think everybody knows like the Seth Rollins one being the biggest one, but I think there was still a lot. I was hype when I thought we were going to get Solo versus Brock, but then you just realize that's not really a Brock thing to team up with somebody. And they're like, his last tag match was in like mid 2000s. Like, oh yeah, they're telling you all these stats. Oh, Brock hasn't wrestled on Raw since 2012 and hasn't had a tag match since the mid 2000s. It's like, oh, this isn't gonna go well, is it? I think there was a lot of good. Another thing, I'm always very conscious of how the promotions take commercial breaks, and there were just a lot of awkwardly placed commercial breaks. Not even just the Seth one, just all throughout the night. Just how they pace their commercial breaks kind of threw me off. But that's just me. But let's get into the proverbial meat and potatoes. Perch, you had the long weekend. What you do this weekend?
Yeah, it was incredible. Every WrestleMania season, there is what is called the GCW Collective. So we were in Los Angeles, California for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. All in all, the totals, I worked and refereed on 7 shows, 13 matches for 4 different promotions altogether, 3 promotions, 4. And people from all over the world. Just about every match had someone from another country, which was very cool. Found myself switching between broken Japanese, broken Spanish,
Spanish.
or English. Simplified English. It was wild. Just a trip. To have people from Japan in town was incredible. A few people who I met over in Japan were there, and it was very cool to see. A few fans in particular, and they brought gifts, and it was heartwarming. Very, very cool. It's an honor to study pro wrestling, and especially when you get to learn from another culture and different people altogether. Um, it's all on Fight TV, which is cool. The Collective. Um, been watching a lot of matches since for reviewing footage and everything. Um, but yeah, it was an absolute blast. Kicked things off Thursday night with Bloodsport 9. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It was an honor to be in there. It's a no ropes fight, no pins, no ropes. So it's knockout, submission, referee stoppage. Yeah, it's a real good presentation of really the sport we love. And it was cool to be in there. Josh Barnett runs it and does a good opening ceremony, and it really becomes a good show that you love to watch, Mortal Kombat style.
Yep.
And it was my first time getting to ref, and it was wonderful. Killer Kelly against Marina Shafir. In a hell of a fight. Those two went at it. Very fierce, very scary too. Yeah, Marina locks in a submission, and Killer Kelly tapped out before it got too bad. Yeah, hell of a fight, exhilarating to say the least. I saw Keith Elliott Greenberg there, who's a good dude who I've been seeing at different shows. He's an author, so it's always cool to catch up with and hear his perspective on stuff. Um, and exhilarating is what the word was for Bloodsport, for sure. um, but yeah, it was a good first show at the Ukrainian Cultural Center. And then the next show right after that was DDT Pro Wrestling from Japan. It was such a treat to have DDT in the United States. For a lot of the wrestlers and workers, it was their first time getting to experience the United States. We've got Konesuke Takeshita, who's been in the United States working with AEW. So he's kind of helped pave the way for a lot of these, other students and DDT wrestlers to make it here as well. So very cool. And DDT is an amazing promotion. My eyes were opened and enlightened to a whole new culture and a sense of humor and badass pro wrestling. And
I'd say
just a fresh,
DDT is one of those that is very close to the old carnival days of
yeah, a
wrestling. You
fresh
can
take.
find everything in a show from them.
Yeah, and the best way I could feel was at the end, you hit the reset button. You're gonna see something that's so crazy and over the top that you're gonna want to hit the reset button and just, all right back to the start. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now some bad. It's got everything. It really had a little bit of everything. Certain type of matches are hot button items here and there, but the best is to observe a whole card and take in the matches you like because there's something for everybody on a DDT show. And especially if you like badass pro wrestling, like Eddie Kingston and Jun Akiyama
Yeah.
against
Yep, you get
uh,
that.
Dash and TA. Like, oh,
Yep, you
there's
still get
another
the
one.
badass matches, you get the comedy matches, you get the uncomfortable matches, you get your death matches, like you get it all in DDT Pro.
You get it all. So I'm a big fan. I was enlightened, and I told telling anyone who cares to listen, DDT Pro Wrestling is where it's at. Good people as well. Um, and yeah, I got to work a couple matches on the show. It was a big honor. Um, First one I had was to open the show was the opener for DDT in LA, and it was a tag team match with Sana Kamina, Shunma, and Mao. And Mao, I met last time when I was in Japan. He worked with us for a couple of days, and good dude, funny dude. Remember him? So it was a good time to see him again. Um, and him and his tag team partner against Chris Brooks, who's a good dude, and Yoshihiko, the
Yep.
metalweight.
That was the first picture I saw of you from the weekend.
the open heavy metalweight champion 24/7. Incredible match. Yoshihiko is a life-size doll. So so it was 3 versus 1 versus the doll. But Yoshihiko is spirited, so it's real and it's pro wrestling. You can't tell me that wizards aren't real and Sandmen aren't real, because they are. It's pro wrestling. But it's such a credit to those 3 guys in the ring. It has to be said. Hats off to Shun Mao and Chris Brooks. Unbelievable how they're able to work with such a credible champion, Yoshihiko. For real, the best of the best. But it blows my mind. I had to watch it 2-3 times. Again, it's a fresh take on pro wrestling, but it plays off of pro wrestling itself. I thought of it as it's a Mel Brooks pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Like, if you get it, you get it. If you're looking for something serious, well, it's gonna be a joke on you.
Yeah. That's probably decently accurate.
And some of the spots in there were just out of this world. I was talking to the GoPro guys the next day about it, or a few days later, and it's like, dude, Yoshihiko did a pinning bridge.
Yeah,
Like,
that O'Connor into the bridge.
He is that good. So yeah, Yoshihiko ends up taking the pin by the end of it, loses the title. Chris Brooks ends up pinning Mao, winning the title, and Yoshihiko from out of nowhere hits some poison ranas. 3 of them in a row, Dragon Destroy, whatever they're called, but murderous, and gets the pin, hooks the leg, 1, 2, 3, and once again champion. Incredible. I've never known of such a thing in my life.
You gotta watch her. You gotta watch her versus Kenny. She hits like 3 Canadian destroyers in a row.
Out of this world, and incredible too. It's again a fresh take and diving full in. By that tag match number 1, I was all in on DDT. I get it. I'm in.
Yeah.
And I was blessed to do the main event that night. So I got to watch the match right before through the curtain, which was the Eddie Kingston and Jun Akiyama against Daisuke Sasaki and Cannon. Just seeing what this promotion is all about, too. Like the engine of it is, hot-blooded, good pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Jun Akiyama still goes.
Yeah, still goes, and just really brings it. The crowd was going nuts the whole time. In the main event was Konosuke Takeshita against Yuki Ueno, who I met for the first time, who was incredible. Big fan of both these guys. Who worked with Takeshita before, which was an absolute honor. So got to work with him again, but in the main event of his promotion. So again, such an honor to be in there. He and Yuki really put on a show. Incredible. I opened my eyes again to like what a main event is like for a promotion like DDT. Absolutely loved it. Good hard hitting finish, and Takeshita ends up coming out the victor by the end of it. And then the next morning, I went over to the Globe Theater, downtown LA, another venue where WrestleCon was at, and I was reffing a show with referee Scarlett from LA, and it was Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Incredible experience. Another one. in the same realm as DDT Pro Wrestling. This is all women's promotion from Japan. So for a lot of these women and girls and everybody, it's their first time in the United States and getting to perform in front of everybody. So that was really cool. I've seen pictures of Trish Adora going over there, and Billy Starks, Max the Impaler. All of them were here, as well as Janai Kai. So people who I've worked with here mixed with the Japanese talent. It was such a good spirited, just a energetic, positive locker room, and just great people putting on great pro wrestling. Some of the stuff that those women do are unbelievable. No one else could do it.
Yeah.
And above all, character work. Everybody is such a defined character, and they use their character to work stories in the ring. Talk about having to believe. You believe everything inside there. I had to close the ears for a lullaby. I mean, it would have put me to sleep for real. It was happening. The Trish Adora got turned to a superhero. Yeah, very, very cool. Good experience. First match I got to do was a tag match with Hikari Noah, now Kakuta, against Arisu Endo and Suzumi. Very cool people all around. Really enjoyed. Good heels, faces. The match was great. At one point, someone lost like a button off of their gear, so I picked it up and pocketed it, and the match ended and everything was done. And I looked down and like I had a little blood coming on my hand. Like, whoa! I poked myself with that button. Made sure to wash it, sanitize it.
Gotta be good guy Perch.
Yep. It's like, ooh, gotta make sure this doesn't get anybody. At next match was Hyper Masao, superhero.
Yep.
And like top women's wrestler too.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
She's
on the bike.
Awesome. Yep.
She came in on the bike. Awesome.
On the mic. I've seen her in the PWI before, and just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Presented Trish Adora, who is one of my favorites in the independent and all of pro wrestling. Presented her with her own mask to turn Trish into a superhero. Awesome. It was great. It was a moment where you can check the tapes back. I told the story. BLP show, Trish against Blackwood, and those girls in the crowd just wanting Trish to win so bad. Unfortunately, it wasn't her day.
Nope.
On this day,
hyper Trish.
She was hyper Trish. She was hype. She was a superhero. It was incredible. Against Raku and Yuki Ano. Great match. Raku put everyone to sleep, and I was able to stay awake because my ears were covered, and I was able to continue the match. I counted slow though, but maybe the pin count woke them up. I don't know. Who's to say? Maybe they were snoring and I needed to try and fall asleep. So I woke them up for like 5 minutes and tried to fall asleep. But then the final match I got to work was a championship match, International Princess Championship match. Rika Tatsumi against Billy Starks. That was a match. Heck of a match. Good back and forth. Such an honor to be in there for that championship as well. A blessing. Very cool. Rika retains the championship, and yeah, great match overall. Can't tell you how much fun it was working for TJPW. Then hopped over back to the collective, where I plugged right back in and worked another DDT pro wrestling show against GCW. This was a really fun one. So it was 3 Japanese shows in a row, which was really cool. The first match I had on this show was Joey Janela versus Yuki Yano. Very cool. to be in there with Ueno again, and against Joey, the man from GCW. I think last time I worked with Joey, it was a 30-minute banger with Jordan Oliver and North Jersey. This one was nice, simple, good storytelling, and bam, done. Um, Great match. Great to work with Yuki again. Like the style, top rope Frankensteiner. Wow, incredible. And works the Ranas too, the Poison Ranas. Really good. I'm a fan. If they get a chance here in the States, I think on AEW they did. Maybe it'll be on Dark. But a handful of those guys.
Yeah, I did see those pictures come up, so super
Sana
excited
Kamina.
for Dark and Elevation. This
Yeah,
week or next week, whatever it is. Probably next week.
they made me a believer. Team Sana Kamina, for sure, with the 3-7 in there. Yeah, big fan. Big fan. Those guys' work ethic, their dedication to pro wrestling, their storytelling, and just in-ring intensity. That's what I love about pro wrestling. Brings me back to watching those guys in the mid 90s New Japan and just pro wrestling for what pro wrestling's, intended. I love it. And then it was lucky enough to work the main event on this show, which was Cole Radrick going up against Yoshihiko for the Open Heavy Metal Weight Championship. Was an honor to work with the champ again. Just like Tommy Young working with Ric Flair, I referred to Yoshihiko as the champ the entire time inside the ring, making sure they could continue. And yeah, that match was awesome. Cole, out of this world. Just hats off, top dog. Not since the Bryce Remsburg referee at the Collective back in 17 or 18, whatever it was.
The invisible match.
Yeah. Yeah. Have I seen a Cole Radrick do to the levels that he put on that night? My hat's off and will be off forever to Cole. Incredible performance. And he ended up winning, put Yoshihiko through a door, and won the championship. And that was to claim victory for GCW in the tournament. I guess the one night tournament.
Yeah, one night promotion versus promotion. We're keeping score.
Yeah. So then upon afterwards shaking hands, Yoshihiko went dirty, kicked Cole right in the midsection and rolled him up and got the 1, 2, 3. So retains the championship. Yep. So got to work like 6 Yoshihiko matches over the
your favorite ref.
I love it.
Favorite American ref.
Was requested by night 2. It was funny. Such an honor for real to work with those guys. Love it. Great pro wrestling. As a student of the business, those were incredible reps to get inside the ring. And then after that, the next show got to work was Joey Janela's Spring Break 7. We were all out there for the big ladder match, which was crazy. Gringo Loco with some out of this world moves, Alec Price with some craziness. Yeah, that match was unreal. Opening scramble. Then I got to work a big time tag match between Maki Ito and Nick Gage against Ali and Effie. That match was a banger. Lots of blood, lots of gore. Yeah, good match by the end of it. To tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you how it ended. Because there was just a brawl and wildness. I think Gage and Maki may have won, and it turned to pure chaos afterwards. But yeah, wild. And then the next day ended up starting the day with Effie's Big Gay Brunch, which was a really good time. Worked a big 10-man scramble, the East versus West. Lots of people. The entire ring was filled with people.
That was like 10-man tag, I believe.
Yeah, 10-man tag. Really good. A few people who I've worked with before and a few I haven't. Pollo Del Mar ended up taking a big power bomb in there. Damn.
Mhm.
Yeah, one thing led to another. And I think it was Ashton Starr who got pinned. Which was part of the West, I believe. Maybe in East.
Yeah, I
Part
think he's a Georgia boy, I believe.
Yep, part of the East. East got pinned, West won.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It was hard hitting though. Damn good for a 10-man tag, 10-person tag. Crazy. Really enjoyed. And then the next ended up getting was Sandra Moon against Steph DeLander. That was good. Sandra Moon, really enjoy her. She was at Freelance not too long ago, and a fun character. She brings it. And DeLander ends up picking up the victory. She's a good sized person, just like a Mel Cruz, kick anyone's ass. A very fun show. And then that night was Gringo Loco's World on Lucha, which was crazy. To celebrate Lucha Libre in a place like Los Angeles was incredible. It's something that I've been studying in Chicago mostly, and experiencing at different places. But Gringo Loco has been a mentor and a teacher of lucha for me, as well as many luchadors from Mexico and throughout the U.S. And I was blessed to work with a handful of the guys on this show. So it was like any other given show. Once we've met, I've met some of these guys' families. So it's, oh yeah, Perch is here. To me, it's, I'm out in LA for the first time in my life. To some of those guys, oh good, Perch is here. Good, we got a rep. We know him.
Yeah, pays to have a good ref. Pays to have a good ref.
Yeah, and a level of comfort. Very, very cool, and an honor to be working hard for this kind of an opportunity. And then when having an opportunity, building somewhat of a rapport with the guys is awesome. The first match I had was a 6-man tag with Aramis, Arez, Black Taurus, Commander, and Los Vipers. Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, Latigo from Los Vipers. Yeah, 3 guys who I've worked with in Chicago, and they put a match together like you wouldn't believe. And nothing, and nothing at all, just from scratch, and went out there and just about did it all right in front of your eyes, and it was crazy. The level of knowledge and experience that those guys have together, out of this world. Very fun match. By the end of it, I was picking up the money on the center of the ring with a Mexican flag, and it was cool. It got draped over my back, I think, from Commander. A cool picture came of it. But an honor to be in there for Lucha Libre and to study that culture as well. So to get that kind of schooling in Lucha along this trip was, phenomenal. To say the notebook is filled. We got a fresh one for the week. And then the final match I had was Psycho Clown against Gringo Loco 2. I watched their first one from Texas several months ago, and that was a wild brawl throughout the arena. Blood. This time around, it's a must see. This no one saw, but happening coming. It was like a violent, almost gross, cringy, ruthless fight. It was incredible looking back. In the moment, like it took me a day to get through it. Afterwards, like looking back, that's the one that I would have the VHS of for sure. Like that's where seeking out Fight TV. If anyone's listening to this, hit me up and I'll give you my login. Check out World on Lucha, Gringo Loco versus Psycho Clown. It's a match we should all go through together. There's strength in numbers.
Class
And it was
project.
it was vicious.
Review this match.
At one point, Psycho pulls a ladder. Now this ladder had been used all weekend long, and it's a 2-man ladder, jumbo, huge, 12-footer. He pulls it from inside the ring, standing on the apron, just collapses it, 2 hands up, and hops right down onto the ground. Doesn't break stride, sets it up. Like unhuman things being done by superhuman Psycho clowns.
Yeah.
Amazing finale in it too. Yeah, we got Gringo healed up by the end of it as well. Series is tied 1-1. Yeah, talk about exhilarating. My first match of the weekend was exhilarating, and my final match of the weekend was exhilarating. And didn't stop till we got Gringo cleaned up and cleared up.
Oh yeah.
Very fun time. Then the next day, we put on the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame with GCW and a handful of inductees. Christopher Daniels, Paul London, Jimmy Jacobs, Mike Modest, cheerleader Melissa. Dave Prazak was there, inducted. Yeah, Excalibur, I think was the last one.
Who ended up inducting Excalibur?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And it was cool. Again, I'd recommend anyone to check this out. It's almost like an open speaker meeting for 2.5 hours, hearing from 6 legends, and then they're inducted by 6 legends. So, like, it was a day of pro wrestling church. Like, these guys are traveling down the roads that we're all traveling down currently, and learning from their trials, tribulations, the similarities, the things you look out for. Like, it's heartwarming. It's touching. Like, I had tears at each person speaking because it's the truth about pro wrestling, and hearing it and feeling it was very powerful. Even speaking about it right now is powerful. So yeah, that one's out there, and that one's worth checking out. And that ended the weekend of responsibilities. Very fun, very fun.
Nice. All right, Zachary. We had a long weekend, not 7 matches, 5 matches, which is still a long weekend for us. Why don't we talk about them?
Yes, sir. Friday, we found ourselves at ICW for the Gardens of Insanity, where insanity did happen with Doc called it out. Our promo was half the team, double the time.
Yeah, somehow I'm not in the promo, but Zach was very emotional about this one. And I mean, he brought up a good point. We keep saying that we are the best tag team in Wisconsin, one of the best in the Midwest and the world. But we've had multiple chances to regain our ICW tag team titles in the past couple months, but have unfortunately come up short every time.
Yes, sir. But Friday, found ourselves against Marjax, the reigning, defending 30-time ICW heavy tag team champions. And then we found ourselves against a great tag team in Killer Instinct.
Yes, sir. Two
Not
teams
Killer
we
Instinct, Evil
know pretty
Inside.
well. What's up?
Not Killer Instinct. It was Evil
Inside. Yes, Evil Inside. Problem is,
Yeah.
Chucky just trades tag partners, like they're Pokemon, really. But yep, triple threat match for the ICW tag team championships. 2 teams that we have known very well over the last couple months as well, since we've made our return to ICW. This was a big opportunity for all 3 of us. Marjax to solidify themselves as those wildly old vets beating up on the young up and coming tag teams. Evil Inside, a younger tag team, the youngest form tag team of all 3, trying to solidify their spot as the future of ICW. and Country Air, trying to prove that we are the now. And I think we proved the now is where it's at.
Yes, sir. We ended up becoming the new ICW Tag Team Champions. Now 3-time ICW Tag Team Champions. Our first reign, we set a record setting reign. We have ICW, I think they've been around 16 years. If you look at the record books, we are currently right there as the longest reigning tag team champions. I would like to, break the record.
Yeah, let's do it again. If it happened once, it could happen twice.
Yes, sir. So ICW, we see our first match. Tag team we are very, very familiar with. We're so familiar with. We dealt them all this weekend.
Yeah, all last weekend. After becoming 3-time ICW Tag Team Champions, we went to the Midwest Gaming Convention for Brew City Wrestling. There were 4 shows that weekend. It was an awesome time. The fans were amazing. It was set in the locker room. I think it was me, Zach, Baxter. When you go back, or maybe not as much Zach listening in or talking about this, because he had a different first year than all of us, but at least with me at Baxter, it was just wild to think where we started. As everything is shutting down, we are the ones in the locker room just chilling, relaxing, unwinding for the weekend, and the greener kids are out there tearing everything down and making sure everything's right. It's just like one of those surreal moments you have that remind you of how far you've come on your journey and how far you still have to go. But very fun weekend, had an awesome time. Lots of tabletop gaming displays and arcades and LARPing, and there was a console builders display.
Hold on. LARPing. Didn't you do it and hit someone way too hard?
Yes, I did hit somebody way too hard. When they were like out of town shooter, baby, pop, 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 pop. I did hit my teacher, I guess I would call him, too hard. But after that, I just went once we started the session, I just instead went on the defensive front, and I was supposed to have a shield wall because I didn't have a shield, but they there was a younger group with me who were just way too excited, so I was just the badass that fended off all attacks.
So basically, what Doc's telling you guys is Doc joined this thing, and there's a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds who were super pumped, and he beat the shit out of them.
No, my team was full of 13-year-olds. The opponents were my age.
Oh, all right.
That's what it was. It's no, my team was super young, and just swinging wildly and just throwing spells and throwing weapons, and were supposed to be protecting me. But we're just running like chickens with their heads cut off, and I was slowly advancing on the enemy.
Yeah, I can just imagine that. I didn't see it, obviously, but just imagine Doc trying to be like, "Yo, you guys have to protect me."
Yeah,
kids running around, fucking around, being kids, and you're trying to strategize it. They're like, "Yo, here's the plan. Here's how
yeah,
I'm
taking it seriously. I ain't trying to die. I only got 4 hit points. These guys walking around with 8, double my health, but it's all right. It was fun. Would love to do it again, but more importantly, Brew City, like I said, had 4 shows, and we kicked it off Saturday at 12 o'clock with.
We actually kicked it off with a Doc Simmons match.
Yes, a Doc Simmons match. Me versus Josiah Vatsana. We've said it time and time again. Theory of Asian Unity is quickly becoming our rivalry of 2023, and I think this match was a very good chapter in that book we are writing. I said me and Bax, we had that reflection of us being the vets now, and those guys being the green kids, and I must say that all the green kids made me very proud over the weekend with their growth, with their continued growth, and I'm super excited to see where they're going to be down the line when they are they're 4 and 5 years in, but the master is a master for a reason, and a liquid sword solves all problems. Very good, hard hitting match. Josiah definitely stepped up and did all he could, but a boot to the face is my solution to everything.
Oh, definitely. Ended yeah, Black Mass 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then later on that show, I was on. And lo and behold, if anyone wants to guess who I wrestled, I wrestled the other half of TAU in Wameng.
Yes, sir.
We had a great match. I was another student versus a teacher match. Me being the teacher, I wanted to make sure Wah got his blow ups in, so we did the drop down, and I had him run the ropes. I don't think he was too happy about it, but hey man, I'm just looking out.
Yep.
Just trying to be a mentor. You know what I
Gotta get
mean?
those blow ups hit.
Like try and get when you can get it, bro. But was having a great match, and then Josiah wanted to get involved.
Yes, he did. While I was off drinking and gallivanting, he decided to stick his nose in your business.
Yeah, super disrespectful. I feel like we really helped those guys out a lot. So it just was really upsetting to see that they would do something in that nature to us. But they had an agenda. I get it. They want to be the tag champs. So we told them, you guys want to go 2-on-2? They asked for the tag strap. So we said, all right, show 2, Country or TAU for the BCW Tag Team Championships.
Yes, yes. And we like to think that we have Wah scouted. He has definitely been studying a lot of one of Perch's favorite wrestlers, Great Muda, and has incorporated the poison mist very well into his arsenal as of late. And unfortunately, his practice has paid off.
Yes, sir. The poison mist once again does it. It's not really my part. I'm not really too happy that the green mist is starting to become a normal thing in my weekend outfit.
Can't wear the
Someone
white
brought that to
gear
me.
against them.
Yeah, like you're gonna, guys, brothers, you guys are ruining my gear.
Can't wear the
But
white.
yeah, no, good match. Unfortunately, they did get the W, becoming the new BCW Tag Team Champions. In a way, you're proud. You watch these guys grow up as a tag team. You kind of feel a certain type of way. You feel like a certain type of way seeing them succeed in their goals, but then you realize, hey, you screwed me.
Yeah, you screwed me to achieve those goals. I'm not the biggest fan. Not a fan at all. But Frankie, being the awesome number one showrunner promoter that he is, said that, hey, you guys aren't going to get away with that. We will give Country Hair another shot at the titles at the shows tomorrow.
Yes, sir. And the shows tomorrow's did happen where TAU defended the titles on the first show successfully. We went out there to confront them about our title shot because I'm not sure. I thought I heard 12 o'clock we were getting our title
I
shot,
thought
but
I heard 12 o'clock, but my hearing is going, so that's going to be all.
yeah. So went out there and they told us. Then they gave us ultimatum like the guys are getting a little too big for their britches when they're telling us guys who are helping them out, we have to beat so and so to get a title shot.
Yeah. So,
But we wrestled Baxter and CJ Cole. Had a great match. Been a long time since we got to hit Baxter.
yeah, it's been a very long time since we've gotten to hit Baxter. We've gotten to touch CJ recently. But it has certainly been a long time since we've gotten to wrestle Buck's brother Bax. Yeah, I think it was another banger. CJ and Bax showed some pretty amazing chemistry for a first time tagging. But experience wins the day. We've been doing this longer. Air Buddies and Suey gets the job done.
Yes, sir. And we found ourselves again main eventing at the Midway Classic. It's funny, day one and day two, the main event, both big main events were Conchira versus TAU for the Brew City Championships, but different champions defending.
Yep. So yeah, we walk in as challengers to our co-highs. But we step out as champions, showing them why we are the big brothers.
Yes, sir.
Another
Now
hard-hitting
two-time.
match. Wall did not get a chance to use the mist.
Oh, bro, I don't know if you saw, but like, I felt like he was going for it. I got him right in the
Right
throat.
in the throat. Right in the jugular.
Right, dude, right. Like I saw him like cock up, and I was like, bam, right in the throat. Like, you ain't getting me, kid.
Yeah.
No, I watched you. Like, I'll have to come up with a better defense, but that one worked pretty damn well.
Yes, I went. Yeah, good. Let's take note of that. Put it in the playbook.
But yeah, now all this weekend became three-time ICW tag team champions, two-time BCW tag team champions. I mean, we're a lot of tag team champions as of late, so trying to put that spec on the name, as they would say.
Yep. But yep, great weekend. Talked about it before we started recording. Hopefully, Bruce City will be back, and we can do it again. I would very much like to be there again next year. Just hope it isn't during WrestleMania weekend this time.
Yeah,
But
because many are going to be in Philly. Like,
yep, so really looking forward to it. But I think with that said, this is a perfect time to move into the topic for tonight. I asked the boys, what are you looking for, hoping to accomplish, or what are you excited for about next WrestleMania weekend? Zach, let's go down the line.
I'm excited to see the title scene. I mean, the world heavyweight title scene. It was the most captivating thing. I don't like. I was talking to Armando Alvarez a little bit this weekend. We were talking about the Roman Cody match. We were talking about how Roman was close to 1,000 days. There's a lot of factors in that. Armand, we both like agreed that like if Cody didn't win it, like obviously I think Roman will achieve the 1,000 days, but I believe he would walk in still at Mania next year as champion. So a lot can happen in a year. There could be a big time debut. Right now, it seems like it's still Cody. I know you have your theory about Uso. I'll let you talk about that. I want to steal your thunder, but like that is probably like right now the most exciting thing is like, is Roman going to be still walking in as champion?
Very nice, very nice. Perch.
I can't wait till next WrestleMania in Philadelphia. Been working in Philadelphia, not wrestling wise, but traveling to Philadelphia and going to Atlantic City from there. So a lot of the people that I've been getting in contact with, getting rides from, getting to know are from the East Coast. So everybody is so excited for WrestleMania weekend and the collective GCW to be out in Philly. So I'm really excited to see what venue it's going to be. It's all up in the air. All the shows are up in the air. But I can't wait till it materializes and we'll see what the lineup is. Yeah, really thrilled. Going to be a blast out on that East Coast. The food, my goodness, the bread. I am so excited to get down on the get down. Philly cheesesteaks. Oh, yeah, I can't wait till WrestleMania next year in Philadelphia. I'm so excited. And if I happen to go to the show, well, good luck topping last one. I'm all right if I don't go to the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm thrilled for the collective, and especially year after year, earning a little bit more responsibility, feeling good with whatever the next one has to offer, and want to be in good position as well. So, yeah, really, really excited.
Hell yeah. Me myself, I will be super excited to knock Pennsylvania off the list of states that I've wrestled in. Excited to get back. It was a little sad that we could not go this year, especially when it's like once we decided we weren't going, the next day we got hit up about bookings. Just bad timing, bad logistics. Philly will be a lot better for us on a personal and business level. As far as WrestleMania itself, I am very excited to see, yes, where the world heavyweight title picture will be. And I am, by that time, I am almost that's close to 100% as you can get that our homie Gunther will be involved by that time in that title picture. Yeah, I think if I had my preferences, I think Jay Uso would be the one to dethrone Roman, but I think from a year from now, we're gonna talk about Gunther being in that title picture. So um very excited for that. Very excited to get back to a WrestleMania weekend as a worker. Hopefully the Midwest Gaming Classic will be the weekend after the weekend before. But just yeah, super looking forward to it, to getting back on that grind from that weekend. It's a celebration of pro wrestling as a whole. The city turns up and just really looking forward to it.
I mean, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
guess like to jump on top of that, like I wasn't really thinking about my wrestling, but yeah, I'm looking forward to like scratching off another another state as well, and being able to yeah, just get back to the grinds, miss the weekends. And I probably, if I go to, when we're down there at Mania weekend, like I know I'll probably just go to Mania Live. It seems like just the thing to do on a Sunday after you worked your butt off. Like go and celebrate with great pro wrestling. Just the atmosphere alone is amazing. And I've been collecting, like every time we go to Mania, I've been collecting a Mania hat. So like looking forward to adding to the collection.
Hell yeah, should be fun. And with
Yeah, and this
that,
one will be WrestleMania 40, is it? Holy
yeah,
smokes.
40.
40. Um, yeah, can safely say haven't been to a greater show, and I imagine that's the case with every WrestleMania. So yeah, the next one will be just as good.
Good. Yep. So yeah, super looking forward to it. Yep. Because
Not
I did
crazy.
not go to the one when we were in Dallas, but I will probably also go to this one in Philly. Um, but yeah, super looking forward to it. With that, I think we start winding it down. Zach, what do we have this weekend?
Oh yeah, this weekend. I don't. It's this weekend's kind of a weird weekend for us.
I think
Um,
you're overthinking it.
I mean, this weekend we're going to be at NWA helping out. We were there this morning doing the setup. They have a pay per view tomorrow. We going to show up, be there for whatever they need help with. Saturday they have the TV tapings. We'll be there as well. And whatever they need, all hands on deck.
Yeah. Yep, just country air back on that grind, boys. Yep, we'll be at the NWA tapings all weekend, helping out, showing face. Be sure to drop on by. The venue looks awesome, super excited. Can't wait for the show to get started. Perch, what do you got this weekend?
This weekend, going to head out to Indianapolis, Indiana, all the way on the East Coast time zone tomorrow night for Black Label Pro on Fight TV. I believe that's a 9:30 Eastern start, so at 8:30 Central um, on Fight TV, and that'll be a fun time. A lot of good people on the card. Bang Bros will be there. That's who I'm excited for, um, and as well as numerous others. Uh, and then Saturday in Joliet, Illinois, Chicago, Freelance Underground, and that'll be on IWTV, and that'll be a fun time as well. So really looking forward to Midwest action right into the swing of things.
Hell yeah, brother. And with that, I think it's time we start taking it home. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, Perch kind of mentioned it with the freelance underground. As much as we like to beat their asses, the homies will be on it. Manny and Chuko, they are wrestling PME. I think that's going to be a phenomenal tag match. Uh, that could be a match. That could be a tag match that steals the show. As much as we like to beat them up, I will give Manny and Chuko their flowers. They're really freaking good. And that was a match I remember when we got there. We were hoping to wrestle PME. They're just a phenomenal tag team, and just for those guys to get it, I'm super pumped for them. They earned it. Yeah, super happy for those guys.
Hell yeah. Perch, final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, there's so much good pro wrestling going on right now. It's incredible. A thought came to my mind the other day, and it's a take it or leave it. But it was some people like other people's thoughts of pro wrestling. Some people like their own thoughts of pro wrestling, and some people just like pro wrestling. And it's like I like to think of it from different perspectives. And at the end of the day, without pro wrestling, we would all just be missing it. So I love it, and it's incredible, and it turns you into a kid. And when the Hall of Famers came out for WrestleMania and the Great Muda came out, it hit me.
Yep.
I get to see the
Muda,
Great
yeah.
Muda.
Yeah, I totally forgot. You would have gotten to see Muda night too. How was that?
I ran across the entire arena from 50-yard line to 50-yard line because I had to see him with my own two eyes. And oh my goodness, I ran down
Still
these
did the
stairs,
miss. Had the
took it,
mask.
saw him with my own eyes, snagged a few pictures. Wow. And then they walked back and I saw him do his walk. I said a prayer and I walked right up the stairs with the biggest just sigh of accomplishment. And right as I walked to the top of the stairs, who's there but Dorian from Freelance? Big 6'11", 7 footer. Said, Dorian, you just witnessed me run across the entire stadium to catch the big Muda with my own two eyes. He's like, yeah, I saw you running. Figured it was something like he totally understood because it's pro wrestling. It's universal, and there's anything that can make us do that and feel that. There's something special to it. So never lose the inspiration and motivation to love pro wrestling and celebrate pro wrestling.
Hell yeah. My final thoughts similar to both the homies. Like Zach said, always proud to see the homies succeed. Shout out to Caribbean Arrogance getting their shot this weekend. Shout out to Perch for having the awesome weekend that he did. Pro wrestling really can be anything. I think Ricochet said some words this week that kind of reflected how I feel about it. Just enjoy this shit. Be courtesy about it. Jets. Now where haven't we been? But with that said, this has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.
Yeah.